Man, we are in store for a fantastic, dare I say legendary, final week of baseball here in the 2025 season. Four of the six divisions have not been decided as of the recording of this video. Yeah, we're going to be eating good this week, brother. Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva. And on today's episode, I can't really give you the series to watch for this week in baseball, but I'm going to give you the three series that really will decide playoff fates for every team in baseball. And I got three great ones for you coming up. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to the Run the Play Network. Anthony's Thunder, NBA champions. My Dodgers, still defending World Series champions. Phil's Lakers got Luka Doncic. Subscribing to the Run the Play Network brings success to any team you root for. Or you can always just pass by, not subscribe. But I wouldn't take that chance. Now, the first series we're talking about has big wildcard implications. And you know I have to do it. I'm an NL West boy. Let's talk about the Padres versus the Diamondbacks here. The Diamondbacks, they have a little bit of that gritty Tigers arc coming up from last season because they sold at the deadline, and somehow they are a game and a half out of a wild card spot. This team is remarkable. And they traded away their two best hitters here. Offensively, since the deadline, or since the start of August, they are 7th in team runs scored, 8th in team WRC+. The bullpen, we know this about the Diamondbacks, their bullpen is atrocious here. But their starting rotation has actually bounced back a little bit. We'll talk about that in a second, though. They're facing the San Diego Padres, who really did not look like they were going to host the Wild Card Series at Petco Park. They're still in contention for the division, too, because the Dodgers' schedule is a little bit difficult here as they have to play Arizona starting tonight. And then, of course, we will talk about their final series in a little bit. So the NL West is still in play here. They need to go for this here. But Padres fans have been a little skeptical of this team, and this team has been okay to good. They've not really been, the San Diego Padres we've imagined them to be. And it really starts with the offense, as they are 13th in runs scored since August 1st, 10th in team WRC+. But the bullpen, that's a beautiful, beautiful bullpen here. They're 3rd in bullpen ERA and 4th in FIP as a unit. Mason Miller has somehow been even better since coming to San Diego, which is really important considering the fact that I sound like a broken record every time I say this, but that Jason Adams' injury is really, really huge for the Padres. Adrian Morejon has been fantastic as per usual. Robert Suarez is going to pitch himself into a very large contract. He is incredible as always in the back end of that Padres bullpen. It's just the rotation. That rotation is not great. And now it's time to talk about the pitching matchups here. In game one here, Diamondbacks are throwing Zach Gallen on the year. He hasn't had it really. 187 and 2/3 innings with a 4.70 ERA, good for a 92 ERA plus. 1.24 whip and 172 strikeouts. But that was first half Zach Gallen. Second half Zach Gallen has been, I'm not saying the Cy Young contender he was in 2023, but Zach Gallen in the second half this season has been a dog. He's thrown 72 and 2/3 innings with a 3.59 ERA, a 1.02 whip, 62 strikeouts. His walks per nine are down a full walk, which is tremendous. His home runs per nine, which is the big issue he's been having these past couple seasons, the home run ball. That's fallen by half a home run per nine over the second half as well. And his ground ball rate is up 6%. Essentially, he's getting a lot better results. So the results have been there here in the second half for Zach Gallen. He's just been, not dominant, but he's been good here for Arizona. And really, that's really what they've been needing is him. And another man we're going to talk about in a second here, really been carrying this Diamondbacks rotation. He will be facing off against Yu Darvish, who has missed most of the year with injury, and when he's been pitching, it's not been great. He's thrown 67 innings this year with a 5.51 ERA, good for a 78 ERA plus. 1.15 whip, 64 strikeouts, and giving up a very, very concerning 1.6 home runs per nine, especially the fact that Petco Park is one of the least homer-friendly venues in all of baseball. So, yeah, Yu Darvish not really having it this year. I expect game one very easily to go to Arizona. And, of course, snakes alive. In game two, the other man I was talking about here, Eduardo Rodriguez, goes for the Diamondbacks here. I can read you his first half stats, but they're not good. They're ugly. They're horrible, quite frankly. So we're going to review how he's been pitching in the second half. Over 68 innings, he has a 3.71 ERA with a 1.43 whip, 47 strikeouts. So his home run per nine has fallen a full home run by some divine miracle. Yeah, that's right. A full home run per nine down from the second half compared to the first half. He is getting much better luck too, as he had a 373 BABIP. In the first half, that is down to a much more respectable 291, which again, not the best, but it's more in line with like league averages for BABIP. So Eduardo Rodriguez, again, another one of those arms that's just really helping the Diamondbacks out here in the second half. He will be facing Michael King, a Cy Young contender going into the year. He's just been unfortunately plagued with injuries all throughout the year. He's not had that many starts. He's looked good in the starts he has had. He's thrown 70 and 2/3 innings with a 3.57 ERA, good for a 1.21 ERA plus, 1.20 whip, and 73 strikeouts. Again, he's putting up good numbers I don't want to say that by any means. He's not hitting the highs that me and a lot of people who picked him to be a little bit of the dark horse contender in the National League for the Cy Young Award going into the season, but he's still a pretty damn good pitcher. And looking at San Diego's rotation, even for a second, they need him desperately because Nick Pivetta and vibes is not going to get you anywhere here. I think game two, I won't say easily, but we'll go to San Diego in a nail biter. And on the rubber match of the finale, we don't necessarily know if this is going to be a big do or die here for Arizona, but throwing Brandon Pfaadt in a big do or die game for Arizona is not the move here. He's thrown 166 and 2/3 innings, and over that time period, he has a very bad 5.02 ERA with an 86 ERA plus, 1.34 whip, and 138 strikeouts. He will be facing, of course, Nick Pivetta, who somehow is the ace of this Padres staff this season. No, I'm not joking, because he's thrown 181 and 2/3 innings with a 2.87 ERA, good for a 149 ERA plus, an 0.99 whip and 190 strikeouts. Pivetta might actually hit 200 strikeouts this year with a whip under one. He has been phenomenal for San Diego this year. Yeah, Padres will take this one easily. But this is a series that Diamondbacks have to win, especially with the fact that, you don't necessarily have the easiest series in front of you, especially with the fact that, Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Snell are all pitching against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. Yeah, this is a must sweep here for Arizona to have any shot at making the playoffs, but it's going to be close and it's going to be a nail biter. Now for the second series we have here, we have Dodgers Mariners, because this one, these two teams have not locked up their divisions yet. These teams are fighting for playoff seedings for division. They're going to come out hungry. And of course, I have to mention this. Game one is going to be Clayton Kershaw's last start. And before we talk about it, if you want to bet on Clayton Kershaw's final start in the regular season, why not do it with Boom Fantasy, the sponsor of today's video?
I accidentally deleted the ad. If you're a degenerate gambler like me and Joseph, use code RTP to get a risk-free bet up to $100. Boom Fantasy is the only betting platform where a two-leg parlay can cash you out 1,000 times your money. Thank you to Boom Fantasy for sponsoring the show. Let's get back to the video.
Actually, we'll kick that to Boom. But yeah, Dodgers here on the first half, Apps in the second half. I want to complain as a Dodger fan, but realistically, I know all of you guys are just going to be like, oh, just the rich crying poor. I get that. But let's go over the numbers here for a second. Offensively, they are 12th in runs scored in the second half, 7th in team WRC+. Good, not great, let's be honest here. Looking at that bullpen, though. Oh, I hate that bullpen so much. 21st in bullpen ERA, 20th in bullpen FIP. Really wasting a fantastic rotation here. Yeah, we'll see how the Dodgers are doing. Conversely, though, the Mariners have been on fire, to say the least. They're 8th in runs scored and 5th in team WRC+, with a phenomenal bullpen behind them, because they are 10th in bullpen ERA and 8th in FIP in the second half here. And in game one, I said it before, it's Clayton Kershaw's final regular season start. Even if, these two teams weren't fighting for their divisions and really fighting for playoff seeding, first-round buys, all that stuff, right? You still have to turn into this one. He's a legend of the game. The reason why the Dodgers are here in the first place, go read Molly Knight's fantastic book, The Best Team Money Can Buy. Everyone in that book credits Clayton Kershaw for where this team is now. So go pay your respects to the man. But let's talk about his stats. On the year, he has thrown 106 in the third innings with a 3.55 ERA, good for a 116 ERA plus, 1.24 whip and 77 strikeouts. It's not prime Kershaw, but Unk still got it for sure. He's going up against George Kirby, a man a little Kershavian at points, but he does not have it this year. Over 121 in the third innings. He has a 4.24 ERA, good for an 89 ERA plus, a 1.21 whip and 127 strikeouts. The control has not, I don't want to say has not been there, but it's not been George Kirby-esque, where George Kirby was a Picasso painting on the edges. Now he's kind of like a Rembrandt, just a little messier, a little less pristine. Or an Andy Warhol, I should say. I know you guys don't care about art, but I do, and it's going to bother me if I didn't fix that. In Game 2, it's Tyler Glasnow versus Logan Gilbert. Glasnow, he's a weird pitcher this year, man. Like, if you box score watching, he's all right, but then he'll put in 5 of the best innings you'll see all year. So on the season, he has 87 in the third innings with a 3.30 ERA, good for a 125 ERA plus, 1.09 whip, and 103 strikeouts. He's facing Logan Gilbert, who, not necessarily where I thought he'd be, but he's still a very good pitcher in the staff. He's thrown 126 innings with a 3.43 ERA, good for a 111 ERA plus, 1.03 whip, and 127 strikeouts, or 169 strikeouts. These guys are fantastic. And of course, you cannot talk about the pitching without, the last game. 2 young guns dueling. Emmett Sheehan, who has been a revelation for the Dodgers staff, goes. He's got a 72 in the third innings with a 2.86 ERA, 1.45 ERA plus, 86 strikeouts, and a .97 whip. He faces the impressive Bryce Miller, and I mean that in the bad way, because Miller on the year has thrown 80 and 2/3 innings with a 5.58 ERA at T-Mobile Park. Yes, you can have ERAs that start at 5 if that's your home ballpark. Good for a 1.41 whip and 68 strikeouts. Overall, if you look at these two teams, these are two teams that have fantastic pitching staffs. One's pitching like they have fantastic pitching staff. The other has the potential to pitch like they have a fantastic pitching staff. You're going to see offensive fireworks abound, whether it's Julio, whether it's Shohei, whether it's Freeman, Mookie, Suarez, Naylor, some MF named Randy. It's just going to be a fun series, really determining who's going to win their division, because let's face it, with Houston playing the Athletics and the Angels, that division will not be locked up by the time this series starts. And more importantly, with the Dodgers playing the Diamondbacks, their NL West may not be locked up by the time they land in the Pacific Northwest. So it is going to be fun, chaotic. Both teams want it hard. I'm looking forward to this. I would watch this even if I wasn't a Dodgers fan. That's how good this series is. And now let's talk about two teams that have absolutely shit the bed here in the second half, and I don't know what to make of them. We're calling it the mid-off here. Yes, in the most pure sense of the word. Because let's talk about how they've been since August 1st. The Red Sox, 15th in runs scored as a team, 16th in team WRC+. Mid. Tigers, over the same period, 16th in runs scored, 17th in team WRC+. Mid. Let's talk about the Tigers' bullpen here. 14th in bullpen ERA. Mid. 27th in bullpen FIP. Oh, end me now. Not good. Not good at all. But the Red Sox, their bullpen, despite, I don't want to say Aroldis Chapman meltdowns, but, Chapman has been pitching here, down here, and you're kind of worried about him a little bit. But besides the point, 9th in bullpen ERA, 5th in bullpen FIP. These guys are absolutely going to come at each other, but both have been struggling as of the recording of this video. The Tigers are on a historic all-time collapse. They have lost 6 straight games. A 10-plus game division lead going into the month of September is down to 1. And by the way, they're playing Cleveland right now, the team that's chasing them from the division. This is maybe an all-time collapse. These are not the gritty Tigs, for sure. Now, let's talk about the pitching matchups. Granted, it's not worth talking about the pitching matchups here. We are not going to get Crochet versus Skubal. Neither of these men are going to be pitching in the series. And we have 2 TBDs, but we still have to talk about it here. In Game 1, the Tigers are throwing Kaider Montero, who's has 86 and a third innings pitched with a 4.84 ERA, good for a 93 ERA plus a 1.40 whip and 65 strikeouts versus a yet to be named pitcher for Boston here. Again, I've been saying this for a while that Detroit's rotation behind Skubal was not great, and now it's coming to bite them in the ass here because Kiter Montero is starting must-win games. Now, in Game 2, Casey Mize looks okay. 142 and two-thirds innings with a 3.91 ERA, good for a 1.02 ERA plus, 1.28 whip, and 131 strikeouts. He faces, I don't want to say rookie sensation. It's been 2 starts, but damn, have they been 2 phenomenal starts here. As Connolly early in his 2 starts has thrown 14 and a third innings with a 1.88 ERA, 1.12 whip, and 22 strikeouts. Yeah, he's that damn good. The Tigers do not know who they're throwing in the finale, but given how close this division race is and given the fact that, they're still within striking distance of the first round bye, I would not be surprised if Tarek Skubal goes on short rest here. But then again, you may need to save Tarek Skubal because I have seen Jack Flaherty pitch in the playoffs here. He's good, but I don't necessarily trust him. Still legend in my mind, Jack. I will buy you a beer if I see you. But Tigers don't know who they're starting in the finale. We know who the Red Sox are starting. They're starting Lucas Giolito, who's thrown 140 and a third innings with a 3.46 ERA, good for a 119 ERA plus 1.28 whip and 118 strikeouts. Giolito has rebounded nicely this season. Really is the default number 2 right now behind Crochet. So overall, both these teams can hit okay, but this Red Sox lineup's got a little more oomph behind it, a little more depth. It's just, they're struggling a little bit more, whereas the Tigers lineup, I was never really the biggest fan of them while they were on their hot streak, but now that they've fallen off a cliff, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a rough one here. But really, this series, you cannot blow this, Detroit. You are right there. If you blow this, I think you have to blow it up, quite frankly, because this core will never recover from a collapse this big. And that starts with having to, bare minimum, win this series against Boston. But it's going to be a fascinating one to see. I will not be shocked if we get another Evan Longoria moment here because something magical is happening this weekend. And these are the 3 most likely places you'll find the magic. But let me know in the comments down below, which series are you looking forward to the most this weekend? Who is winning the 4 yet to be clinched divisions in baseball? And most importantly, Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh? Who's your AL MVP? Because I'm not touching that race with a 100-foot pole until the season is over. I will tell you that much right now. As always, if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget on the way out, play ball.